always been very vocal about this. I've always liked orthopedics. It's been my favorite specialty ever since I've been exposed to it. The hospital where I work at, we do general surgeries, obstetrics, pediatrics, pediatric ENT and max facs, and orthopedics trauma. I find orthopedics really interesting because of the amount of equipment and instruments. I find it really challenging to kind of remember how it goes. It's like so complicated. If I compare it to, like, let's say for example general surgery, right? If we're doing laparoscopic, cholecystectomy, appendicectomy, it's kind of like very similar instruments that you have to deal with, so it could get kind of boring. And obstetrics, you know, cesarean sections. Every time you do a cesarean section, it's gonna be the same instruments over and over again. Sometimes it could drive you crazy. Counting it over and over again, there are times when I'm actually like, oh my gosh, if I have to count another cesarean section tray, I'm literally going to lose it. But with orthopedics, even if it's the same part, let's say for example hip, neck of femur fracture, it would depend what the surgeons decide to use to fix that fracture, what instruments you're gonna use. It could be different, you know? It could be a dynamic hip screw, it could be a hemiarthroplasty, it could be an intramedullary femoral nailing. It would involve different instruments for each one of them. And that's just for one part of the body. And imagine all the other parts. And it could be quite funny. Orthopedic surgery. I mean, all the innuendos that you can hear from there, I know it's not very professional, but I guess maybe I'm not really that professional. But I mean, I think it's good to have a laugh, you know, at work, and twist your knickers, you know what I mean? Make work more fun. And I love my job. I do. I wouldn't think of doing anything else. My main priority out of all the things that I like to do, like my job is actually the one that I really like doing. The innuendos, right? When they drill and then they measure it, and then when they're about to put the screw in, you can hear stuff like, oh, I can't find the hole. And I kid you not, I've done this once. So when we're doing total hip replacement, sometimes you have to use a screw to keep it in place, but other times they don't need it. So to save money, we won't open the tray unless we know for sure that they're going to use the screw. One time when we got to that part, I actually asked the surgeons, and I did not do it on purpose. I promise I did not do it on purpose. I actually said to them, so are you going to screw? And as soon as I said it, I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh. And I had to like think of a way to rephrase it. And I have to try my best not to laugh. Seriously, I have to like keep a straight face. And I was like looking down. It's a good thing we have a mask on because seriously, seriously, I was so embarrassed. And then I was like, are you going to use a screw? But I think in general, orthopedics is prone to it. Like, in the first place, it's called orthopedic. It involves a lot of stuff like screwing, bang, bones. When I first started orthopedics, one of the things that amused me about it was like the drill. I loved holding the drill. How it makes me feel like I'm holding a gun. I have some fascination over guns. Like, I don't have that much experience with it, but I do like some firing ranges sometimes. Putting the battery onto the shooter makes me feel like I'm putting the magazine inside a gun, you know, and then like you pull the trigger.